Hello, hello, hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 11 and has autism. And I paint with him. I paint a lot of flowers. He helps me paint the backgrounds with a hand-over-hand method, and then I paint the rest. And I laugh because I try to do different things than flowers, but the flower kick is where I'm at right now. Flowers and kind of more flowers and some more flowers. That's just the way it goes, which is fine. It's just funny to me, and I don't know why it's funny. But it is. I'm gonna laugh anyways. So this background is kind of I always like when I say kind of with Owen, he's always going back and forth with colors. So it's kind of a gray, kind of a blue, got some brown. So I looked at it and I kind of thought that it needed a little more, just kind of the subtle colors, like not necessarily strictly the grays and the browns, but that's kind of where we're heading. And they don't necessarily go together per se, but we are going to make them go together. So I'm just kind of working on putting them out there together and going from there. So well, it'll be kind of, I don't want to call it monotone because technically that's not really what this is, but I just felt like it needed to be more of these shades, and I probably would have done more of the gray blue thing, but I got in my head that I wanted to put this as well. So we're thinking outside of the box and going for it. And if you've watched before, I don't say this every time, but I say it a lot of the times. I love to watch paint dry. I really love watching paint dry. And this particular one is going to be one of those things that I like, because when you use a lot of the same, like this is the colors I've got on here. And it's different than the background, but that's going to kind of fade into the background. So this looks like it's a white or a cream, but it's actually it's called fog gray, I believe, that it's a gray. And so I love watching the colors kind of change as they go into the different sections, as well, how things can kind of make different colors. So we shall see. That's always my go-to. We shall see. And like I said, I probably didn't want as much of the brown, really kind of taupey color, but I wanted to add it from the background and see what happened. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And you'll notice when I paint, again, not all the time, but most of the time when I'm using flowers, I love painting with one paintbrush because I love all the texture that it provides in the flower, because when I generally put way too much paint on the paintbrush, but you can see on here, probably is hard to see on there, but there's several colors of gray and kind of the taupey tan color. And so that is what really happens here is I get those shades, those times into what we're making. And so that helps kind of throw in the colors here. So that's why we do it. That's why. A lot of this is going to get covered up. I really have no rhyme or reason sometimes of how things land where they land. And today is the perfect example of me not really knowing where anything is going to end up, or how I get the colors where they are, or why. Any of those reasons or thoughts, that's what we're up against. The mind that knows what they want, but not what they want. That's me. That's me. And again, it's back with this flower that I've been trying to break myself from, but it just seems like it's not going to be. I'm not breaking. I'm not stopping. I'm working very diligently to keep this flower going. So, Owen really had a good day. He was probably overstimulated. I'm probably still overstimulated from him being overstimulated. But he had a very good day. We went to our trunk or treat at our church, and that was wonderful for him. This is I'm going to sneeze, and the sneeze turned into a yawn. I knew what was coming. I've not been sleeping very much lately, and that helps the yawn. But he has really become interested in Halloween. And I can tell you that this is really the first year that he's been all about wanting his costume on lots of different times, wanting to go all of the places or some of the places, which I've pretty much let him kind of take over those decisions, because, you know, it's a lot for him to just go so many places. So I want him to be comfortable. I want him to be able to decide when he's ready to go, if it's early or something like that. So I kind of am trying to get him to understand what that all means. But he had a great time. Oh, see, this is what happens. I get a little slap happy, and there's like am I gonna be able to get it? I got it. It was, now it's hard to tell because it's wrapped against there, but it was like a dried section or something that kind of got itself in there. And, if you've watched before, this gets myself in trouble so many times because I drop stuff or I do something like that, but it's okay. We just keep going till it works itself out. I'm putting much more of this taupey tan color than I had planned on using, but again, it's okay. And this feels big and inflated or something, so I'm trying to kind of work through it here. So maybe that's different. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, she said 1,000 times. Maybe I need this just a little different color. I'm exhausted. I walked a lot with Owen, and I'm not exactly the best at walking. I have multiple conditions that do not promote fast walking. And so I have arthritis from hemihypertrophy, which is my right side. Here we go. My right side is larger than my left side, and also have lots of paint and stuff on my fingers. This is kind of hard to tell because my nails, but so my right side is larger than my left side all the way down, and that's caused arthritis and numerous other things. And so I don't walk fast. And thankfully, some of our church family helped us out, and it was made my life a lot easier. And Owen had a lot of fun, and he was overly excited about some things, but again, it was a good time, and he really enjoyed it. This is just not working for me. I don't like it when I don't know, it went sideways or something, and so it feels out of place, like where it was, and I don't know why, but we're adjusting as we go along here. So I'm trying to kind of make it look more like, I don't know, that makes me happier. Excuse me. So I don't mind stuff out. It's just that for whatever reason, that did not feel like it was in the right dimension. I don't know why. So but he had a great time. Now this is probably not going to be like what I want either, but that's okay. He had so much fun, and he had decided to take his, what he calls robot beat bow. It's beat bow is like this Fisher Price toy, and he wanted to take it with him because he wanted to find somebody to hide it, and I have no clue how come that became like the thing he wanted to do today, but he wanted somebody to hide it, and then when he didn't find anyone to find a princess. Well, he didn't like any of the princess suggestions. I think it was like the glass slipper kind of thing. He was looking for a particular one, and I, again, don't really know why or what that was happening. But he decided that he would rather go on the bouncy house and that type of thing. So he lost kind of interest in actually hiding the robot beat bow or giving it to a princess. And then he had decided he wanted to hide it inside, but we said he couldn't do that today, and so he decided he would do that another day. So we'll see if he actually does. And I'm not, again, sure why he wanted to hide this, but he did. But he had so much fun doing all of those, and thankfully there were four and more, depending on the moment, helping us kind of navigate through everything, because I was having one of those days. Well, I have those days where I can't really walk, so. But we left, and then he wanted to go by the statue, this random statue. I don't know why. Again, it's something that interests him, but he likes it. And then once we were done with that, he wanted to go to a school that he's never been to, never attended, I should say. And then see what he calls Burger Boy. So we did all those things, and he was quite content. I should say quite content with a side of he wanted to still yell about the things we didn't go see, but I try to make him understand that we can't go to everything all the time, because he wants to just keep driving till he is done. And I try to let him go to a couple of things, because I get it, he wants to see something, but I don't want him to think that every time we get in the car I'm about to lose that. Yay. we do all the things, because I just don't want him to get that impression. Because, you know, you can't always do all the things. You have to have some time to not do any of the things. So, I don't feel like this is quite done, but it's done. And here I keep adding stuff, so I guess I was right. I'm not done. Well, I'm going to do O for Owen, and then L and B. So one last kind of look over here to see where I'm at and what's going on. And I think I'm about, I don't know if that helped or not. Sometimes I just have to keep making lines because I feel like that's gonna help, but I don't know. This almost feels like is one of the ones that needs to be like splattered, or I should have had like something. So here we go. We're gonna do some splatter. I don't know why some of them I feel like I want to do it, but sometimes I just want to add more dimension, I suppose. And I want paint splatter everywhere, because I end up wearing it on my face and hands and everywhere else. Don't realize I'm doing it. See, it just flies because of the way, like, you know, when you have way too much paint on your paintbrush, that's what happens. So, and now I'm probably gonna even just get some of it going. Just like I said, I don't know why sometimes this is what I feel like I need to do, but sometimes it's just is what I want to have. Like, I feel like it adds something to certain ones, and others don't need it. I have no explanation of what or when or why something would need versus something would want or should. But there you go. Okay, I'm walking away. So this is then going to get all spread out, and I'll make it a little neater or something. I'm not sure. And these are turned into my little baubles. My paint blob jewelry is what those are kind of twins. So that's that. Yeah, see, all the way up the arm. I don't know if you can see that. But all right. Well, thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. I hope you enjoy the rest of yours. Toodles.